गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वते नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We will chant the mantra number 5th. यस्मिन्द्यो पृथ्वी चान्तरिक्षम् ओतन्मनस्सः प्राणैश्च सर्वैः तमेवैकं जानत आत्मानम् अन्यावाचो विमुञ्चत अमृतस्यैष सेतुः। अमृतस्यैष सेतुः। We were seeing this second section of the second Mundaka, and in this second section there is an emphasis on the whole world seeing in consciousness. In the first section, emphasis was while the whole world has come from Karan Ishwar. The Tat Padarth Shodhan was done in the second section of second Mundaka, first section of second. And here Tvam Padarth Shodhan is done. What is Tat Padarth Shodhan? Tat Padarth Shodhan is, there is two meaning of Ishwar. One is the known meaning, who is the ruler, who is the controller, that is called Vachyarth. Other is called indicated meaning, that he is the pure consciousness, called Lakshyarth. So doing that from that Karan Ishwar, I had told also, when we were studying Etasmat Tasmat, then I had mentioned Brahman and Maya word. Brahman and Maya, they constitute the Ishwar. So from that the whole world came. And after the whole world had come, and we had seen how the whole world has come, and ultimately it was said, what was said? That whole world is Purush eva idagam sarvam. If you remember, 10th verse, last. Whole thing is Purush alone. And then I had told about one word called Bad Samanyadikaran. When it was said that whole world is Purush, that does not mean that the changing portion is Purush, you have to take out the name and form intellectually and know that this name and form are nothing but the self only. This you saw in the last section. Please go back and forth, then you will understand how the Upanishad is traveling. Go back again, come, and therefore we have to keep at least some verses and what topic was in the mind. It is best if you can remember important verses. Even if you can't remember, you can know that this was the topic that was progressing, that the first mantra was on the conflagration of fire in the spark. Then the second mantra was the Swarup Lakshan, 9 Lakshan. Then tasmat jayate prana mana sarvendriyani chakham vaira jyotirapa prithvi vishwasya dharanme. Similarly, it went and went and went. And ultimately in 10th verse, the Upanishad did apavad. And what was the apavad? Desuperimposition. That this is all the Purush only. Which Purush? Divyo Yamurta Purusha. That Purush of second 2.1.2 and 2.1.10 are same only. I think it is 10th one, Saiv Purush, 10th ही है वो, because 10 were there, ठीक है, that's fine. This was the movement of the Upanishad in the last section. When this section started, so what did the Purush, what is Upanishad do? What did Upanishad do? Upanishad did the Mahavakya, that the consciousness which is in the Ishwar, devoid of time and space, and the consciousness which is in me, although to me it appears it is in time and space, it is not there. Because from the consciousness, if everything has come out, then actually speaking, the consciousness in me cannot be different than the consciousness in the Ishwar, because the consciousness in the Ishwar has not changed at all, and only one consciousness was there in the beginning. If it does not change, then my consciousness cannot come from that consciousness. That means on me the consciousness, the body is seen actually. And by mistake I have put the consciousness in the body as a dharma of body. If initially, if Ishwar was here, and Ishwar was with one consciousness, without time and space, because time and space will make it a part of the world. But the consciousness, everything comes out, and consciousness has not changed at all. That means in me the consciousness is there, and Ishwar's consciousness cannot be different, because that consciousness can't break in part, that टूट गई, उसमें से कुछ यहाँ चला गया, कुछ consciousness यहाँ घुस गई शरीर में. It is not possible consciousness to break it, because consciousness by its nature is non-modifying. Consciousness cannot modify, consciousness cannot be in, already modification is possible only when something is parallelly existing with itself, therefore you can modify. Something which has a shape, if you remember initially we had all S, U, C, T. When we already, the Karan consciousness has to be shapeless, it has to be unchanging, it has to be consciousness, it has to be truth. How can that change if consciousness is not changing? Then how can the consciousness is me cannot be part of that consciousness, as Vishishtadvaita said. That verse was used by Vishishtadvaita actually. They pick up what they like to do. How can it have a part? Because I told also while explaining, if it is a part, then the part is possible of something which has a shape. Then only part means something between is absent. If I say, I tear the paper, in between there is neither of the paper, torn paper and the initial paper, then you can call it part. When consciousness alone was there and there was no space, how can you bring the consciousness inside the body and put it? And therefore that was called Apvad Mantra. 10th was Apvad Mantra. These are technical definition, you have to know it. Superimposition of the Srishti on the Karanatva of the Srishti on the Brahman, and desuperimposition, that there is nothing called Karan, there is nothing called Kar itself is false, so Karan also cannot be true now. So this was, so the consciousness in me and the consciousness in him and her, they all cannot be different, because if they are different, then the problem will become, same consciousness is still as it is without time and space, and on that only everything is seen. Purush evidagam sarvam. This subject was in 2.1, from 1st to 10th verses. Then 2.2 came. Now the 2.2 came, the difference in 2.1 and 2.2, 2.2.1 and 2.2.2. Oh, 2.2. Second Mundak, second section. Let us put it like 2.2, and that was 2.1. Okay, I'm confused. So, in this particular section, the Avihi word was used. Don't forget that key word. Upanishads are a very serious topic. And little, what shall I say, little intelligence is expected from the Upanishad student, that he will remember what was the first word and all these things. Little cognitive knowledge is required. He is able to cognize these facts. You need not be genius, but average understanding has to be there, which is not so difficult, I feel. It is not that it is something very difficult, much easier than our college subjects, if you have a subtlety of the mind. And therefore, earlier days, mathematics was very important subject. You know why? Person knows to think logically, thoda sa. And that is the king of, Ganit is the king of all Aparavidya. So that all subjects were based on Ganit actually. Everywhere you have to add, subtract, multiply, some sequential thinking is required. Some cause and effect is, you are trained to think like that. And we had Vedic mathematics in the Vedas. Big numbers you can multiply and count in a second. That is called Vedic mathematics. Acha, let me come to the topic now. So now coming on to this second section of the second Mundak. Already we saw the 5 mantras, 5th mantras we were. So first 2 mantras told that the Yasmin, in that the world is seen. This section did not start from that it came out. Now it is coming that in that the world is seen. I told this Drishti Srishtivad, they have started. Now they came in that, now already we saw. Then in the last 2 mantras, the sadhana was mentioned. Dhanush was there, arrow was there, Laksh was there, how you have to penetrate that arrow. That was there, Pranamo Dhanu, and Omkar Upasana was in short mentioned. Please don't forget what is going on. Second mantra, the name of the consciousness was Archimat. And first was the Avihi. Avihi first, second was the Archimat. Very good. Now this continued. This is the 4th mantra we saw. 3rd and 4th mantra, Omkar Upasana. Now coming on to the 5th mantra. 5th mantra, what it says here, Yasmin Dev Prithvi Chantariksham. There is something called thread, and there is warp and woof of thread, and there is something called cloth. Generally we see the cloth is one and thread inside can be many. Thread means the material cause actually. The thread is the one which is going across, which is crisscrossing the whole cloth. That is called the thread. So it is said, as the cloth is woven by the thread, similarly the whole world is woven by the consciousness. Yasmin means in that. Dyavhu Prithvi Chantariksham. So Antariksham is Bhuvalok. So Devhu is the Bhur Bhuva Swahalok, and Prithvi is the Prithvi Bhulok, and Antariksham is Suhalok. So Yasmin means in all the lokas are in this. Please note, this is called Adhishthan. So first to Jagat is Adhishthan of the Jagat is the Brahman. Understood? Adhishthan of the Brahman, Adhishthan of the Jagat is the Brahman. Because anything cannot be seen in itself. There is one law. Anything which has a shape, it cannot be seen in itself. This is called Atmashray dosh. Where he is sitting, only on himself. This is called Atmashray dosh. Atmashray dosh. Lot of dosh is there. One is called Atmashray dosh. Or it is A is sitting on B. B is sitting on A. This is not possible. This is called Anyonya Ashray dosh. So if this whole thing is there, if this desk is sitting on this, in this dais, this is stage is sitting in this hall is sitting in the ashram is sitting in the Chatsworth is sitting in Durban is sitting in South Africa is sitting in the Africa is sitting in the globe is sitting in the space. यहाँ तक तो ठीक था. यहाँ तक तो आसान था. And this is done in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad by Yagyavalk. Yagyavalk and Gargi are there and they are discussing. And they are saying, okay, this near the bank of the river, and they say river is there, this cottage is where, and this the river is in the bank of the river, this cottage is there, bank of the river is in the country is in the continent is in the globe is in the space. And then he asks, where is the space? So Gargi replies, in the cottage. 3 times. Nahi clear hua? Because inside, his space is as if inside the cottage. His space is inside the kutia. That is wrong. How can this space be inside the kutia? Because inside means outside it is absent. Then only you can call it inside. It is inside, outside. How inside is not possible in this space. This space is not inside. It is inside also, outside also, and in between the walls also. How can you call it inside? When you say Mr. Fernandez is inside, that means he is not outside. You cannot say something is inside when it is outside also. So when it is said, where is the space now? Because anything, I just mentioned anything which has a shape, it cannot be in itself. It cannot be based on itself. It has to be based on something other than itself. Well, is space has a shape? Of course, space has a shape. If the space was not having a shape, it won't end in deep sleep or in the dream state. Dream state, space ends, and the dream space is made out of a Panchikrit Manchma. It is mental space, and this is a Panchbhut space is there. Panchikrit Panchmahabhut space is there. Both the spaces are different. If 2 things are different, that means they are absent in each other, therefore they will have a shape. So where is that space located? Where is the ashra? What is the ashra of that space? Are you following it or not? It is becoming difficult. If it is becoming difficult, let it become difficult. Then they said, by Yasa, that space, if B is in A, if B is in A, then by removing A, the B will not be seen. How do we know that whole thing is based on something? Whole family is based on my father. Because if father is not there, we cannot even have anything to eat. They say he is a breadwinner, the others are bread eater. So sometimes, when somebody like that passes away, then the family says, he was the only breadwinner in my family. Children are there, wife is there. And supposing the father had passed young, well, he is the only breadwinner, where will now we get food from? Where will manage then? If ashray nash, ashrit nash. If the nash is of the ashray, then ashrit nash is also there. If the support is destroyed, then supported also will be destroyed. And this is how we know that what is support and what is supported. क्यों? Our jeev is supporting the body. Jeev goes away, then body also is destroyed. If body is destroyed, jeev is not destroyed. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya tata navani gannati naroparani tata vihaya sharirani jirnani anyani sanyanti. But jeev is not destroyed because body is destroyed. But if the jeev is gone, then body is destroyed. That means the jeev was the ashraya of the body. Ashraya means support. So if now space is going on. Now space and there is something. Therefore I say if A is the support of B and you destroy A, in the absence of A, B is also destroyed. If A was not support of B, then if you remove or destroy A, then B will be as it is, doesn't matter. It is not connecting me. Now let us see mind and the space. Mind is A and space is B. So if the mind goes away, space also goes away. That means the space was based on mind. If the mind, taking away the mind, space was remaining, I could have said that space has no relation with the mind. This is subtle, but you have to get it. And therefore the space is in mind. Generally we think mind is in the body. This is totally wrong. Again I am repeating it. If the mind was inside the body, mind will be either of gross element because inside the body is only Prithvi, Jal, Agni and Vayu, that too gross, Panchikrit. And by burning the body, mind would have been burned then. When you burn the body, then subtle body and gross body, they will be burned. By burning the gross body, subtle body would have burned, vasanas would have burned, and there will be no rebirth because the body has been burned. But something goes away when a person dies, that itself says that the subtle body is not the gross body, it is not inside the body, it is not a part of the gross body. Subtle body is not part of the gross body. It was just expressing through the gross body. Only expression has gone of the subtle body, and therefore the mind is not in the body. And if the mind was in the gross space, then in the absence of space, as in the deep sleep, there is no gross space, the mind also would be absent. But mind is in the dream without the gross space. Mind creates its own space there. It is a mental space made of apanchikrit panchamahabhut. Difficult to hear? Seer has not understand. Clear? Okay, great. And therefore you have to say that the space is in the mind. Still topic is not over, don't be happy. So, space is in the mind. But now, everybody knows that the mind is in the self. Mind is coming from me. This doesn't need too much of explanation. Mind comes in me, mind goes into me. And therefore we come to the conclusion that the mind comes and goes into me, and space comes and goes into the mind, and therefore whole world is in me. I am the substratum. Substratum word is used, adhishthan. There is not support. Now using the word substratum. Because supported are two different things. Body is supported and the asana is support. Both can separately exist. But substratum, Gurudev used to coin these words. Very challenging for Gurudev because these English words are difficult to coin. That is called adhishthan. Adhishthan, adhyast word is there. Space, mind is the adhishthan, or one is called ashraya ashrit, other is called adhishthan adhyast. Ashrit, this body is ashrit, this asana is adhishthan, ashraya. Chair is ashraya, your body is ashrit. ठीक है ना? But the water is adhishthan and the wave is adhyast. So adhisthana adhyas cannot be separated, but ashraya ashrit can be separated. Now from me, if everything has come out, and what is the difference between that? Without me, it cannot, ashrit cannot exist. Adhyas cannot exist without adhisthana. Stanley getting it? Not getting it? Worry? where you lost the link? Where you lost the link? I'll come back to it again. Where? Adhishthan. Okay, good. Before that you got it, how the world is in space, the space is in the mind, you got that point. And mind is in the cell. Very good. Then you got it almost all. See, one is, I'm not using the English Sanskrit word now. I'll use support and supported word. This body is the supported and the asana is the supporter. Or supported and support. Support and support can mutually exist from each other. But that relation is not between the I and the mind. There is another word called substratum and superimpose. The water is the substratum and the wave is the superimposed. They cannot be mutually distinct. They cannot be mutually separated from each other. You can't take the wave, I'll take the water. You take ornament, I'll take gold. You keep the ornament. I have now understood. So I is not the support of the mind. I is the substratum of the mind. Sanskrit word is clear. Adhishthanadhyas and ashraya ashrit. The whole world is in me. Generally what I think, I am the small part of the world. What we experience and what scriptures are totally, diagonally, 100% totally different. Totally different. हमको लगता है हम घूम रहे हैं, moving in the world. And they are saying, no, world is moving in you. World is moving in you. Somebody asked Surya Baba, who are you? So many times he used to say, I'm the servant of all. But one day he said, see, there was a dark room and the window was having a sunlight. A streak of sunlight comes from the window. And in that sunlight, there are small particles of dust particles. You can see they are moving. He said, as the dust particles are moving in the sunlight, in my light, cosmoses are moving. I got my point. Same thing is there. As in the sunlight, which is constant, it has to be dark room, you can see that. It has to be dark room and one ray of light goes. So as in the sunlight, lot of dust particles are coming and going. Similarly, in me, the pure consciousness, I am that in which cosmos and Brahmand are coming and going. And see the first line, Yasmin. Yasmin Brahmatant. That Brahmatantav. That in the consciousness, Prithvi, Antariksham, Otam. Otam means it is woven. This is macrocosm. And microcosm is Manasa Pranaischa Sarvaihi. So Sarvaihi Pranaisaha Mana. So gross bodies and subtle bodies covered by Prana and Man. Man covers the subtle body and Prana covers the gross body also. Sarvaihi. Understood? Now come to the third part. Tam ev ekam janata. Tam ekam. Always same vibhakti collected. So tam will go with ekam. Please note, relative and correlative pronoun will yasmin, jisme, usme, usko. This is called relative and jo aaya tha us din, like that way. The one who came that day, you have to complete the sentence. I'm going now. No, what? It is incomplete sentence. The one who came that day, you have to say something about him only. That he has come today or he is not there. Or he met an accident or he got promotion. कुछ तो बोलो उसके बारे में. The relative pronoun has to be completed by the correlative pronoun. जिसमें सारा यस्मिन tam ev ekam. You should know that. So yasmin and tam will go together. If you remember that. जो उस दिन मिला था, that boy who passed, he is getting married. Then the sentence is complete. You cannot say like that. So yasmin dyav prithvi chantariksham uttam manasa pranaischa sarvaihi tam tam ev. बहुत important है. Please underline this line in your books. This is not to be neglected, please. This is a very serious matter. तम एव एकम. उसी एक को जानत. Know it. This is लोट लकार, मध्यम पुरुष, बहुवचन. Actually जानीत word is there. जानत, जानातु, जानीतम, जानन्तु, जानीहि, जानीतम, janitha. It is janit, but because it is Vedic, he made it janat. Janit is there, not Janet. Janet is a surname. Some girls, English girls, have a name called Janet. I was in Singapore, one lady came to fetch me for 11 o'clock class. I said, what's your name? She said, my name is Andrine Lowe. I said, be high. Andrine Lowe. So invite ladies also used to come in the satsang. Some Chinese were also there in the satsang. Gloria was there and some ladies were there. And very interestingly, they used to seriously listen. Make notes. Lot of some gents also used to come. Even in the talks also you can see some Chinese gents are sitting. Some Malaysian also used to come. It was interesting to see that. Anyway. So tamev ekam janat. It is verb, not somebody's name. So tam ekam usi ko jano. ऐसा नहीं बोला उसको भी जानो. Know that alone. And who's that? Atmanam. See the Mahavakya. Yasmin has been made Atmanam. You have to catch this point. Yasmin was that in which the whole world was seen. And therefore I had equated how it is in Atma. और उसको यहाँ आत्मा बोल दिया. Atmanam. उसी को जाने सब किस ना. So we should not study anything else. There is a history, geography, बचपन से पढ़ाई हो रही. 12 years we studied. Then after that I did graduation. 12 plus 4 is equal to 16. 1 2 year failed. Make it 17, 19. So 12 plus 4 on plus 2-3 years extra. So इसको जोड़ लो. Around 18 years. So much studies I did. And I never studied Atma, etc. Atmanand is the only one name. But we never studied the topic of Atma or Brahman, etc. And how to know that alone. And anyo vacho vimunchata, renounce everything else, all other speech. How is it possible? Practically तो नहीं possible है कुछ. ये कहाँ से होगा? उसको जानो. If I had not studied, what will I earn? What will I earn? I'm doctor today, I'm engineer today, I'm scientist today, I'm politician today, I'm businessman today. I have done BBA, then MBA, then DBA. Something I have done. People only ask, what are you studying? You don't say I'm studying about Atma. Or I'm studying nowadays Mundaka. They don't give any certificate also. After every text, one certificate should be given. This to certify this student has studied Mundaka Upanishad and has realized the self. And we wish him all the best in his future pursuits. Sign. In Bal Vihar camp we give such certificate. And very interesting is that इतना text पढ़ो भी एक certificate मिला नहीं. Why? Because लेने वाला था नहीं. The one who had to take is no more after Upanishad. The one who has the listener and doer is no more. Who will take the certificate? Now samajhna. If you remember, I had talked about Paravidya and Aparavidya. If you remember that. It is not saying that all other Vidya are useless. But to draw security and joy from that is not right. I am using it for serving. The secular education is to serve and stepping stone towards purity of mind. Aparavidya 2A and 2B, therefore 1, 2A, 2B I had mentioned, if you remember. 1 was the outer sciences, 2A was the ritual and all these sciences, and 2B was about the Ishwar, that Gyan was there. And 3 was this knowledge of the Vedant was there. Earlier I had mentioned, once upon a time, if you remember. So that all the Aparavidya has only a purpose of giving us some skill and tool so that my Rajagun can get an expression and I qualify for Paravidya. There is no other purpose of Aparavidya. If you are a scientist, if you are a doctor, if you are an engineer, only purpose is you can get a skill to serve the people around you and you convert your karma vasana into puja vasana. Because you have a rajagun, therefore you need some kind of expression and therefore after purifying yourself, you should get the jigyasa because aparavidya will not give you any joy. Why? Remember the first few lectures I told you that our problem is threefold problem is there. Security we are seeing in the outside world, joy we are seeing outside world, and we are thinking sin is in the world. So instead of removing or bringing security in the outside world in the form of money, etc., I remove the insecure personality inside. If you remember that. The removal of the insecure, imaginarily insecure personality. Because essentially I am secure, Atma is ever secure. And ego is ever insecure. So when you attack the imaginarily insecure personality by knowledge, when you attack the imaginarily unhappy personality by knowledge, when you attack the imaginarily sinful personality, not by doing dharma, but by knowledge, then that is called Vedant Vichar. And when you try to bring outside things like money, or like the happiness, or like doing something for, so I'm adding one more layer to my illusion. So by that it won't go because that insecure personality will always be there. Because what will be false will always be insecure. Body identification with the Atma is false, which is called ego. It will always ever be insecure. It will ever be unhappy. It will ever commit some other sins. Initially. And therefore only panacea for all this is knowledge only. And therefore Upanishad is saying, Ved bol raha hai. Upanishad is a Ved. I had told about Ved also many times. Tam atmanam. Atmanam is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Dvitiya is there. Nakarant. Pulling is there. So tam atmanam ev janata. Know that alone. Ultimately you have to know that alone. Why? Because otherwise, your problem of your life called security and happiness will never end. The sinfulness in us, this will never go at all. Because you are dealing with, you are living with imaginary thing and you are trying to, instead of putting something where the problem is, you are addressing problems somewhere else. It is not in the world outside. It is not in the body. Somewhere you have misunderstood yourself. This misunderstanding in me is called your problem actually. So you keep on going from birth and this is the traveler, this jeev is the traveler. Chinmaya parimohitatma shariramastha karoti sarvam istri annapanadi vichitra bhogai saiva jagrit paritriptameti swapne sajiva sukhdopmokta swamaya kalpita jiva loke sushupti kale sakle virine tamo bhyuta sukupramati punascha janman tarkarma yogat saiva jiva suprati pradha adharamanandam akhanda bodham yasmin layam yati parattaryam cha. ये जो जीव है ये चलता रहेगा ऐसे ऐसे. There is only one way. Please find out that there is no insecurity is not in me. Unhappiness is not in me. You are not trying to bring happiness. You are trying to remove the unhappy personality inside actually. Unhappy personality. If something is by nature unhappy, you are trying to remove because it is false. Anything false cannot give happiness for a long time. I had told it in the beginning. And therefore, the only way to get out of this problem is please know and be free. Tam ev ekam janata atmanam anya vacho vimunchat. Please leave aside all other talks. Well, I should not talk about anything other than self all the time. Who will purchase the groceries? I cannot say in the shop, give me Brahman. I have to say, give me rice, give me vegetable, give me tomatoes. I cannot say to the doctor that I have Atma Rog. Please check my Brahma pressure or blood pressure. हमारे समय ब्रह्म ब्रह्म बोलेंगे लोग पागल समझेंगे हमको. आई कांट डू व्यवहार ऑल्सो. आपने बोल दिया नो अन्यो अन्या वाचो विमुंचत. I'll tell you a small thing and try to get this point if you can get this point. When Vyavhar is there, Vyavhar is for Paramarth. Number one point is there. You are living, you are talking, you are interacting so that your mind becomes pure to understand the self. This is one point. And don't talk about that which takes away the purity and devotion. And this is why Bhagavan Vedavyas, after writing whole Mahabharata and Vedas, he was not happy. You hear in Bhagavad. So Narad ji came. Narad ji said, Bhai Vyas ji, kya ho gaya aapko? What happened? Why are you looking sad? So Vyas ji said, I don't know. But I did so much of Aradhana and still I am so sad. I wrote all the Vedas, then all the Puranas, Mahabharata. Vedas are not for all four castes because the things are not that easy. It is for Dvij or the higher class. Therefore I wrote Mahabharata so that everybody can study. Then he told, you have not sung the glory of Lord. And then he started writing Bhagavatam. This is the first canto itself, it comes. So our speech actually paints something in our mind. You think I'm talking to you, I'm actually painting first in my mind. Therefore, Vang me manasi pratishtita, mano me vachi pratishthitam. So here Sumri Sarda Suhai Manas te Mukh Pankajai. So when Bharatji remembered Sharda Devi, she came from her mind to her tongue. So speech is a way to purify our mind, to sanctify our mind, to illuminate our mind. But if I criticize you, or if I tell how good I am, then same speech I am dirtying my mind. His speech is to purify my mind by dharma, sanctify and divinize my mind through upasana, and to illuminate my mind through satsang or through Vedanta. So to purify, to sanctify, and to illuminate. This is the three purpose of his speech. His speech goes more inside your heart. Therefore, one of the very beautiful ways to study is to talk. And this is what Gurudev used to say. He used to say it, loud reflection. And therefore, I always tell to students that even if one person is there, take class. If you have somebody to hear, then you hear. And if nobody is there to hear, to talk, then you call and take class. Gurudev used to joke, call your servants and talk to them. He used to say, call your neighbors for a cup of tea and tell them about Bhagavad Gita. They will not come if you say I have satsang. Just call for tea, they will definitely come. And don't tell I'll talk on Bhagavad Gita. So, but when they come before the cup of tea, you say, okay, I'll talk for half an hour of Bhagavad Gita, what I have learned. He used to very commonly say, very openly. What you can, if you read the book, what is it called? We must is there, he is in slowly is there. Lot of things he used to say like that. The zeal was there that please talk if you have, but don't talk to explain to somebody. And this is a slip here. Moment you start talking, you get appreciation. And for what I was talking, ego's biggest food is appreciation. And a person slips. And therefore, you talk to yourself. I'm going to explain my mind today. And thanks to all the listeners who help in explaining to my mind. And therefore, offer namaskar to the one who has listened and allowed you to talk to your own self. They are not ignorant people. Rather, the speaker should touch the feet sometime of the listener. There was one Swamiji in India. Every listener used to touch feet. Imagine that. ऐसे ऐसे होते हैं. You don't do that. I'm just saying. Well, all time we'll go in touching the feet when we have class. So, so Anyo Vacha Vimunchata means this, that your speech should be purifying, should be divining, sanctifying and illuminating. This is one. Don't talk of anything else. If it doesn't purify, no need to talk. No need to mention. क्या फायदा उस बोलने से? If my mind is disturbed, so much we put effort to purify the mind. And one more point I will say. When you talk to yourself, talk in Vedantic language. Or talk in the language of a devotee. I talk to that person, I say, please bring. When you are alone in your room and you are worried, supposing you have worry, please talk to yourself. Anyo vacho vimunchata. You are a devotee, you say, what is there to worry? God is there with you. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. That is called monologue already. It looks funny if somebody is talking in his room alone. But everybody must have talked, I am sure. तुम क्या यार पागल हो, तुमने ऐसा काम कर दिया, दिमाग खराब तुम्हारा है. ऐसे कहीं किया जाता है क्या? Then somebody comes, किससे बात कर रहे हैं? अरे, he comes at a wrong time. I'm telling you, these are the ways. If supposing you are sad someday, so sometime by talking to yourself verbally, it will quieten your sadness or explaining by mind. You close your room and talk to yourself. कि तुम्हें सब ठीक हो जाएगा, चिंता की क्या बात है, ये तो होता ही रहता है. It all happens in this world. This is like that, that is like that. Because mind is not going to listen to inside what is that. The murmuring mind has become stronger. So outer word what you do, it's louder. It is sense organs are involved, mouth also, ear also. It is easier to subdue the mind by talking loudly to that mind. And you will talk loudly. Loudly you listen something. And if you are a Vedanti, then what to say? Only I have to work a lot. Then you can say, who is working? You are a karta or you are a drishta? Only I am very sad. You are a drishta of sadness or you are a sad person? तब तो वेदांत की बात ही छोड़ो. But don't talk something which increases bhed buddhi, which increases the attachment to somebody. Ahankar. Something you have done, please think of all those people who have cooperated in doing that. And you say, thank you Bhagwan for giving me the seva. And even if I was not there, it would have been done some way. I am not important. We have to train our mind to think first. Baikri Vani is expression of Madhyama and Pashyanti Vani only. So what you talk, first you talk inside. And talk only that which can take you to the Vedantic knowledge or take you to the devotion. Anyo vacho vimunchata. There was one ashram, outside it this slogan was written. Anyo vacho vimunchata. And therefore I always say, please don't give lot of time in chit-chatting, whether dining table, whether with the servants, whether with the workers here and there. No need for unnecessary talk. Try to talk on some issues, some planning may be there, you can talk, but think it is for the God. Ego, attachment, aversion, it should not be talked. What is this? Amritasya esha setuhu esha jnana. This jnanam, esh will go with jnanam. So, eshaha amritasya setu. This is for immortality. This knowledge. Which knowledge? Oneness of this Atma with the cause of the whole world. Yasmin and Atmanam. So, Amritas esha setuhu. I hope this is clear now. If it is not clear, I'll start again. No. It is totally clear. So, it's very clear, very clear. Please move ahead. Very clear. Tam, देखो, Swami Abhedananda used to play with this. He used to say, tam ev janat. You should know that alone. Tam janat ev. You should know definitely that. Ev is go with janat. उसको जानो ही. उसको ही जानो और उसको जानो ही. जान उसको ही, मतलब nothing else is worth knowing in this world. Everything is as good as the blade of grass. तृण समसिद्धि तीन गुण त्यागी जानियो तात्सु परम विरागी. You know that, you know that only will go with that Atma, and only will go with knowledge. You know definitely, you know only. You know only know that. Now I am coming to next verse. Next. Araiva rathnabhau samhata yatra nadyah. क्या हुआ भाई? ऐसा लग रहा है कि बिफोर लिविंग बॉडी लास्ट मंत्र इज चैंटेड. अंतिम मंत्र. There are more pages, I think, in between. Therefore, you took it. देख ही नहीं पा रहे, हम रिपीट कर रहे हैं, आप ही ऊपर से बोल रहे हैं. ऐसा होगा भाई. अराइव रत्नाभो संहता यत्र नाड्यः सैष्वन्तश्चरते बहुधा जायमानः ओम इत्येवं ध्यायत आत्मानं स्वस्ति वः पाराय तमसः परस्तात्. बहुत सुंदर. देखो, here this teacher is saying mon voyage. Swastiva, in your attempt to cross the ocean of ignorance, Swastiva paraya, may good happen to you. Like you say, wish you happy journey. Wish you all the best in your exams. Because you have come into an area which is very difficult. You will be surrounded by your vasanas, by your attachment, by your aversions, by your ego, by your notions, by your laziness, by your so many prarabdha will be there around you. It will be not be easy journey for you. तुमको लग रहा है you have not known the challenges that you are likely to face later on. And therefore I am wishing you all the best. And teacher is not there all the time with you, that he will hold you all the time physically. Swastiva paraya. Paraya means for crossing. Crossing what? Crossing this ocean of this ignorance is there. Tesham nirvignataya brahma praptim ashasti acharya. He is giving Ashirvad. Swasti nirvignam vo yushmakam paraya parkulaya parastat kasmat avidyatamsa. This ocean is there, be calm. जब तुम जाओगे, you will see calm is there, krodh is there, competition is there, anger is there, inferiorities are there. The prarabdha will be not good, some issues, health issues will come, loneliness will set in, neglected you will be feeling at times. You wonder why I came here, why I came here, what wrong I did. I had the biggest blunder. I think I came is this Vedant class. I don't know what happened to my mind. I landed here. I'm so frustrated with all these things. I'm fed up of this place. I'm fed up of this person. I'm fed up of my sadhana also. Of my mind, I tell you, I don't know what kind of mind I have. Horrible person. I must be donkey and buffalo, everything in the last birth. Definitely, I'm telling you what I will be. I can make it out. A scorpion, donkey, everything I must be inside. I don't know how I ended up here. I just don't know. I did not expect this from me. These thoughts may come you at when you start traveling. It is the knowledge of the self is very uphill task. It is really difficult. Bhagavan himself says, Mammaya Duratyaya. If Einstein is saying some problem is difficult, Bhagavan himself is saying it is difficult. It must be difficult. And therefore teacher is, you don't wish for something. I don't know why there is a born appetite. In the plane, born appetite. Wish you happy appetite. You don't know which lot of appetite is there. You don't need to wish me for that. You wish for something which is difficult. Wish you all the best in your exams. When we were going for the examination, everybody wish you all the best. Everybody was wishing. Where? It is difficult. Today's paper is very difficult. Today is Viva. Examiner has come from outside. Wish you all the best. I know you will perform well. Dhak, 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 ho raha. Dhak, 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 dhak. You are reading this, reading that. Wish you all the best. When you are on this path, so many challenges are there. And our sadhana is less actually. Our surrender is less. Our sacrifice is less. It demands too much of surrender, too much of attention, too much of tapasya, too much of focus, too much of nam jap, too much of puja, too much of selflessness, too much of Guru Bhakti, too much of Ishwar Bhakti. And therefore when we are short of that, this path sometimes becomes very, very difficult to even pass one day. It becomes passing without satsang. If this satsang is not there, passing one day is difficult. I'm not joking. You can ask those who are on this path completely because they have no engagement. You can't go anywhere. Neither I want to go. Then only satsang is our support, our puja, satsang, part, your sadhana. वही पकड़ के रखता है हमको वरना हम खत्म हो जाए. So teacher is now already has told. So some students were leaving. So he said all the best. Bon voyage. Wish you happy journey in this path. Revise all what I have given to you knowledge. Please listen to it once more. Please repeat it. Somehow you will attain the goal. Don't worry. One day you will hit the target. Come on, go ahead. Like somebody is going for Olympic playing. So all the coaches, all the people in the team wish him because it's very difficult to win the medal there. Okay? So here, this is not a discouraging, But this is the path. Vivekananda used to say it is a path of heroes. Those who are really heroes. Therefore, I say, even if somebody falls on this path, I congratulate, at least he tried and fell down. चलो ट्राई तो किया उसने, अगले जन्म में पता नहीं ठीक हो जाएगा फिर. We'll see more tomorrow. I thought I'll complete this mantra, but it took a lot of time. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.